let's go. This is going to be really quick. Really want to go over this quick 27-minute mini masterclass, just talking about what we're able to do to help you from a strategy standpoint. And you've probably seen some of the, many of you have received messages with some of the different testimonials for that. So our goal is to try to add maximum value and show you how to do this. So this is for coaches that want to become conference owners. Our exact 100K framework for exhibitors, speakers, influencers, mainly coaches, to build the tribe of customers before your next conference, before your next big workshop, before whatever that is, without really having to change anything. Like, what? Without having to change anything? That sounds crazy. So let me show you how we can do this. We're going to zoom through this. If I go too fast, let me know in the chat, but we're going to keep going. So in this, what we're going to do, we're going to talk about the journey, because I think it's important. Anybody that, or anything that you want to do and somebody's actually saying that you should subscribe to how they do it, they should probably have already done it, right? So I'm going to show you that manifestation and the manifestation journey, and how you can add. When I say without doing anything or changing anything, you're not going to change anything. You're going to keep your niche. You're going to keep that. If you just add a few things and put some, like I said, put some hot sauce on it, you could really move the needle. And then I'm going to go over, and this is something one of our coaches taught us: high ticket secrets, client attraction factor, simple secret to enroll and to get 20 to 30 leads every single day, using exactly what we're doing right here, which is your Facebook profile. And then next steps to get paid. So let's talk about this. This is billionaire Mike Roberts, who was at our last conference, and this is us taking a money manifestation shot. So if you're wondering, hey, what is that? These are things that celebrities, millionaires, and billionaires are taking. So I want to let you know, this is for people that are in the launch phase, that are wanting to build a high ticket offer, that are wanting to have consistent 5-figure months, that are wanting to increase their monetized following on Facebook, IG, LinkedIn, not just people in bodies, right? And then those that want to really make 6 figures with client attraction groups. So one of my favorite scriptures, and this is important because there's a lot of naysayers out there. I'm going to show you this in a minute. Do not conform to the pattern of this world. Instead, be transformed by the renewing of your mind, because once you leave this room, there's going to be a lot of people that say, hey, you shouldn't do that. Somebody tried that, not even knowing what that is. They're just projecting their fears on you. So I don't project my faith on anybody else. I just let people know, hey, some of the things that we've been able to accomplish is much bigger than us. And it's much bigger than you as well. Everybody was called and put on this earth for a specific purpose. But this isn't a sermon, this is a masterclass. So the journey, if you don't believe in manifestation, this will not be for you. I'll just tell you that. I'm going to show you some real life examples, and you won't hurt my feelings right now. We understand that everything isn't for everybody, but I have to give this disclaimer and show you some incredible things that have happened, because I visualized it. Now, if you don't believe in visualization, if you don't believe in manifestation, the last thing we would want to do is kind of waste your time. But if you do, I want to show you some things that are out of this world that I've documented over the last, 15 months to 2 years that have really been incredible. So if you're ready, say, let's go. Let's go. So just a little bit about me, not to impress you, but more to impress upon you. I have been blessed to have a lot of obstacles and also have a lot of opportunities, right? Most people just talk about their opportunities, but my background is really in tech and in real estate, and I've worked for some of the largest Fortune 500 companies in the world, really help them scale their usually emerging markets divisions. And tech has been a big part of what we've done, and we've sold, tens of millions of dollars worth of software licensing since I got out of college, right? So that was my first thing. And then we started our own business and help people with grants and government contracts, and help people get about $28 million for their respective organizations. And we built a 7-figure business doing that. And back in 2021, and I'll show you the story, this is just in the last couple of years, we saw that there was a focus on the Black community without true intention. So we started a conference that became, now this is going to be our 4th conference, the biggest conference in the world on MLK and Juneteenth. And we started these money manifestation shots which were initially just like promotional shots, and then it grew to something much bigger. And I'll show you that. And by doing that, that has landed us and got us write-ups in Forbes, been inducted into the Houston Business Journal 40 under 40. Just a little bit to tell you, not to impress you, but more to impress upon you. You know, we know what we're doing, and we've been doing this for a little while, right? So I'll tell you this, and this is important, right? There's a lot of money out there, and this is why we really segmented our niche. And this is back in 2021. There are a bunch of companies that said, hey, I want to raise money and give, after George Floyd died, to the Black and minority community, right? Because we've seen some bad things that have happened in that community, and we want to help, right? So I'll give $1 million, I'll give 5 million, 10 million, 500 million, a billion, 30 billion, right? And the sad thing about this is less than 7%, even 3 years later, has actually been dispersed with these commitments. And I kind of saw, math has always been my best subject, but history has been what captivates me the most, right? So this sounded a lot to me like 40 acres and a mule. And if you remember that promise, it was a great idea, very poor implementation. They didn't know who to give it to. They didn't know how to manage it, and ultimately it disappeared. So I didn't want to see that happen again. So I started a conference called the 40 Acre Conference, really not to shame people or to bash anybody, but really to partner with a bunch of corporations and government officials that really wanted to do great things in the Black and African American and minority community, just didn't know how to do it. Hence why we do things on MLK and Juneteenth, and help them partner and create activations, and to really pour money from, that's why we do 100 events in 10 days, anywhere from, you know, hip hop to fashion show to tech competitions to green money incentives, all in 1 week, to give a bunch of opportunities for that. And I really learned at Black Wall Street, and I was enamored by this concept of group economics. So back in 2021, I actually went to Black Wall Street. It was the centennial of the 100th-year anniversary of the race massacre. And when I was there, I met a few people. I was blessed to meet Earn Your Leisure, right? I was Rashad and Troy, which at that time, you know, had a couple 100,000 people as a following, which is really good. Well, which was good, but now they're the number one in the world, right? Top in the world financial platform. Sell out Madison Square Garden, sell out Prince Albert Hall, right? Later on this year, we're going to be going with them to Ghana. So, and then I also met Hill Harper, which is an incredible man to push initiatives forward. And he was launching his Black Wall Street app, and they said they were going to do a conference. Remember, I said, don't conform to the ways of the world. So many people told them, hey, don't do a conference. You guys are YouTubers, you guys are podcasters, you know, a conference is a whole nother thing. You won't know what you're doing. They said, no, you know, 90 days from now, we're starting a conference, and they did. And it was huge, right? And granted, they had a good following and a lot of people around them already. But I told them, hey, you do that, I'll buy a VIP ticket, I'll be there. I told him, hey, if I ever start a conference, man, I want you to be one of my first celebrity speakers. And he launched his app that day, and I was one of his first users, and he held true to his promise. And he was one of our first big celebrity speakers when we started our conference. During that time too, I was watching this show too. It was called Undercover Billionaire. If any of you have ever seen it, and I won't go too deep on this, but Undercover Billionaire was a show where they take a couple of different people that are affluent millionaires and billionaires. They took Tim Williams' wife, they took Grant Cardone, they took Elena, forget her last name. She's big in real estate. But they said, hey, we're going to take you and put you in the middle of nowhere without your contacts, without any money. We're going to give you a truck and $100, and you need to make $1 million in 90 days. So what I did is, in watching that show, I put all their ideas together and came up with this manifestation shot, right? Timberland's wife did like a healthy juice shot, and she got $1 million valuation. Grant Cardone did a marketing company, and Elena did something around real estate and built something up and created digital codes. And I'd put all that in this one shot, just watching TV. And I started testing this, and I went to, as promised, Earn Your Leisure did their first conference. And I if you see in these pictures, I met with some influencers, and I started putting these manifestation shots in their hand. And it was more like a promotional giveaway. I got a chance to meet up with Rashad and Troy. I got a chance to meet one of my long time, I run almost every day, listening to Les Brown. So I met a lot of influential people there. And biggest thing, I saw something that was possible. Les Brown talks about something that's possible, and they showed us that that was possible. So I went home and I said, you know what, I'm going to execute on this. So I paid a coach. This is Jonathan Sprinkles. He's actually the he's the number one connection coach in the world. He costs $2,000 an hour. Works with Steve Harvey, Paul Abdul, Terrence J. But he did a couple different things for me that was integral. And we started to do the same and incorporate this. He, one, helped me frame all of my thoughts and ideas, and everything that I knew and did well, he put it in one package. The other thing is, he introduced me, he put me in a room, he made a call. He said, hey, now that we have this framework, you need to get in front of some people that can help you. So he put me in front of the room, got me into a sold out gala with Hiram Styles. He does all the things for BET. He's a big producer. He does all the big events in Houston. He said, hey, you need to learn from this guy. You need to meet this guy. He said, I know you've talked to the mayor and probably know him, but you need to get this initiative in front of him. And I did. And the city was one of my first sponsors, right? City of Houston Health Department. And then he said, you need to get the right narrative and the right people so you can get the right venues. And the mayor put me onto this new place that was going to be open up. It wasn't open up yet. As you can see, the hard hat, this is back in 2021. He said, there's this post office that's getting revamped. You should probably do something there because it's an incredible venue. And they were one of my first venue sponsors, and we were the first one to do a whole conference. I'll show you. So 90 days later, hold true, we started our first conference, and we did it, right? The mayor was an integral part in helping get those through. Not only did we do a bunch of $1 million panels, Hill Harper spoke. We took over a store in the Galleria to do an activation. I had the G Boys there, had some performers. We had a fashion show, and then other people started coming along and saying, we did a pop-up in LA, and there were people and politicians and government officials and celebrities that say, hey, great job. This is a great initiative. We'd love to be part of it. Even people, like Ted Cruz, that said, hey, this is great. And historically, they don't, the common theme is he doesn't really love Black people, right? Whether that's true or not, right? He gave us a shout out, and that was big. So that was huge. After that, we had, and this is, I'll be honest with you, I got a call from the presidential cabinet of the Democratic Republic of Congo. And they said, hey, we want to fly you to Africa. Immediately, I hung up, right? Because I thought it was a scam. I've seen a lot of that. And I said, nah, you're not going to get me. But one of the Congolian billionaires that was on made some calls, and we streamed to 200 countries. And we were actually flown to the Congo, right? We were at the presidential, this is the President Felix, in that office, right? I had armed guards, police escort the whole time. But there's a number of countries, you call it Nigeria, Congo, Ghana. A lot of these places are trying to bring back African Americans to help invest in the country, because most of the land and most of the things, believe it or not, are not owned by Africans or African Americans. So there's a huge influx of them trying to help people with investments over that. And they saw this huge conference. I was in the back of a car, and we're in Kinshasa. Kinshasa, there's 18 million people there, have a police escort. And I'm sitting here thinking, how did I get here? And who do they think I am? Right. And so many times we get this imposter syndrome, like, man, I shouldn't even be here. How do I get there? But your gifts, I was told, will make room for you. So as you grow, things will start to happen and you'll be exactly where you need to be. After that, we started our second conference, and more sponsors started to jump in. We had our conference, rented out the whole post, did 40 events in 4 days. I had people like Jordan, gave out a bunch of Jordans. We had an esports tournament, had HyperX and HP give out a bunch of headsets as prizes. We had Pepsi in there, right, that did a bunch of stuff for us. So we had performers. We did a whole art showcase. We established the Juneteenth Hall of Fame on the rooftop of the Post with Sheila Jackson Lee, who is the pioneer of the African American holiday, first one in like 40 years, Juneteenth. She was an integral part in creating that, and she was our keynote speaker and opened it. And now we own the Juneteenth Hall of Fame, right? Here's another real thing. I told you about those manifestation shots. I was at a conference and I was actually volunteering. When the people say, how do you get so many volunteers? Well, I volunteer for a lot of people. But in this conference, I was doing something, and I got a message the night before, and I was just told, be ready, right? Be ready. So at this conference with Vivica Fox, Master P, Lil Romeo. Unfortunately, Lil Romeo's fight got and he's not little anymore, right? As you can see, I'm 6'1", and he's not little anymore. But his flight got delayed, and they were looking for a speaker, right? And I looked crazy. I was told, be ready, right? Got this message, be ready. So I'm sitting here in a full suit with manifestation shot, volunteering, and they were looking for, a speaker. Who can we fill the slot with? And I knew the production manager, and I got on stage and I did this whole manifestation experience, got people on stage. We took the money shot. If you know Kiati, he was the MC, and people went crazy. And ever since then, these little promotional shots, after that, we went to New York for Fashion Week. People started chasing me down, right, for these money shots and wanting part of this manifestation experience. And now, we sell them for $100 each, and people gladly pay that. And then we also create a manifestation experience to help people with their coaching programs, right? And I got to open up right before. You see, big ET. How many people get to do that in their life, right? So I told you some of these things, if just happened, and I was like, man, this is real. And then, the big one. This was our third conference. I was told, hey, you want to level up? You want to do a golf tournament? It'll never happen. You want to rent out a whole theater? Nobody's gonna come. And we partnered up with the White House, and we did a presidential MLK awards, rented out the whole George Theater, had celebrities there, had Earner Leisure there, had 19 Keys there, had billionaire Mike Roberts there, had Jerome Love there, had Chris Senegal. Like, anybody that you can name was in the building from an influencer standpoint. It was an incredible experience. And we did throw our own golf tournament, and it was absolutely phenomenal. And this is something that, people told us we wouldn't be able to do. And we were able to sponsor a bunch of kids to come out. And you can see this is a bunch of other sponsors jumped in. We had people come down from Chicago, from Toronto, from Detroit, partnered with G Unity Foundation, 50 Cids Foundation. So a lot of great things happened out of this. I also, from a fashion show and a legacy standpoint, through a fashion show, this is actually my little girl, right? I have my little girl doing our fashion show, which is absolutely incredible. And we've learned how to partner with government officials. So our stamp is on that. So instead of, hey, this Juneteenth Hall of Fame is good, now it has the congressional stamp on it. Instead of saying, hey, this MLK Black Excellence Award or this gala, if it has a stamp of the White House, right? These are things that really start to move the needle. So I say that all that to say, and I worked with a few of my coaches that I've been going to Bible study with for years and years and years. And they said, hey, you have something, man. And you just need to, because I wasn't at our conferences. I wasn't even selling anything high ticket. And I was just selling tickets to the next conference, selling small sponsorships. And he said, no, you need to teach people exactly what you do and do it in a coaching program. And come to find out, I sat down with them. They built a multi-million-dollar business in the last 15 months in about the same time that I started my conference. And they said, look, if you put these together and just teach people to do what you have learned to do, you can have a lot of success. So I appreciate that. Put that program together, worked with them, and now we have our Juneteenth Freedom Festival that's going to happen. This is going to be our 4th conference. We're going to do 100 events in 10 days. Never been done before in this format, and it's turning into almost the Black South by Southwest, a bunch of different locations. But I want to show you, and our goal is we're on a mission to help 100 exhibitors, coaches, influencers add 100K to their business. And I'm going to give you a little bit of game. If I can have permission, I may go, because I was going to stop here, but I want to give you a little bit of game and a little bit to take away, regardless of how we move from here. So let me give you an example. And one of the things that I told you earlier when we started this was, hey, we'll be able to help you add 100K to your coaching business, to your influencer business, right? Regardless, and not have to change anything in your niche. And here's how. If you add manifestation and if you add, right, not changing anything, just add, not changing what you do, and you add just a conference to what you do and have a blueprint to do that, and have people fly in to pay you, to do things with you, to give away things, to want to be a part of your initiative, and you're able to really frame that. And that's what I want you to think about. Think about more than you can even believe, think, or imagine. Not just what was told or was given to you, what territory you're going to actually take. Think about that, right? And once you really do, I'm going to give you the art and science of manifestation. So manifestation refers to various self-help strategies that can make individuals' wishes come true by mentally visualizing them. Manifestation techniques are based on the law of attraction. If you've seen The Secret, if you read the book Think and Grow Rich, if you've seen things since the beginning of time, The Richest Man in Babylon, this is not something that I created personally. This is something that has been around from the beginning of time. And if you look at, and I study a lot of the most successful people that I've come along and read about in the past, and all of them believed in visualization and manifestation. It was not an accident of where they were. You know, they knew, and they put the work in execution. After that, they set a big goal and they went after it. And here's how. They visualized it first. So let's talk about the art of manifestation, right? It's something that's intuitive and subjective, a skill cultivated through practice and imagination, more based on attachment or emotion. And what I've learned is a thing called neural stubs. And it's something that you get attached to. So it's based on your senses, your smell, your vision, your taste. There's certain things that you can remember, like big events. If you remember when I was in 9/11, a lot of people can remember exactly where they were. They can remember seeing what was in the room. They can remember the smell. They can remember what they were touching at that time. That's called the neural stuff. right? So putting all those together from an artistic standpoint is what we did to create this manifestation shot to help create neural stuff and use that art to create that. And then the science behind it, So Harvard Business Journal, they did a study in the 1970s, and they studied 100 people for 20 years. And what they found is, and they found that the 10 people that had written down their goals had a cumulative net worth of more than everybody else, the other 90 put together. Now, what does that mean? That means that a lot of people, it's not that people set high goals and miss them. They set no goals and they hit them, right? So this is something you can put in practice today, right? Looking at your vision board, and there's a statistic too, 92% of vision boards have no execution behind them. They're just pictures. But knowing what you want is half the battle, right? But if you look at your vision board from just an execution standpoint, why do you have this picture on your vision board? What's the purpose? How strongly do you desire this on a scale from 1 to 10? And what is the execution plan? Most people don't even have one. Leaving with this was worth the price of admission. So what we do with manifestation coaching, and this can be added to any niche, we use is the art and science, and then give you steps for execution in your certain niche. And that's what you already do, right? So manifestation refers to various self-help strategies utilizing art and science, then simple execution and masterminding. Put yourself in a group that can make entrepreneurs' niche more valuable by leveraging manifestation for the execution of your goals. So we take that clear purpose, right? Once we looked at that, we take the desire and the execution with the money shots that are all natural, right? They're 24 karat gold, they're white gold and monatomic gold. And then we help you create your conference with revenue generating software to help you get leads. Yeah, I know that's a lot. So we went a little over because I wanted to give you some of that game because it's so important. I know we're at 27 minutes, but let me give you one more, okay? If permission, one more. Let me give you one more. So closest to the conversion hole, when you look at high ticket people, and this is something that I would talk. How many conversions did it take to make a sale? There's a lot of different, and this is what I grew up in enterprise software. I grew up in sales, but you want to focus on the right people and doing that in a lot of your different groups. So in a group, you want to come, there's 4 different states of the conversion hole, right? So if some of you'll attract people to your group that say, hey, I'm curious. I'm just curious. I've seen you do things. I want to be a part of it, whatever that may be. But I'm just curious, right? Have a general interest in the outcome. Your zone 3 is people that are interested. Right? They know that it's possible, but it's not something that they even tried or really put effort in before, right? And then the zone 2, these people are invested. They started in investing ways a lot. Those of you that may be, and this is for your audience as well, and this is so easy if you add your niche and manifestation and helping create a conference in the blueprint that we give you, you can really increase. But these people are invested. Do you think a lot of you are coaches, right? There's other people that have, before your clients, they had tried something. Those people that are invested, they tried. If you're a real estate coach, they had tried going to Robert Kiyosaki's coach. They've tried something local and it may not have worked, but they've tried something. They're invested and they're actively looking for something to solve their problem. So, right. And then the people that are committed, right? The invested people may have done books and tapes, and the people that committed are the people that have invested into some of those courses. They won't quit. They have persistence, and they're sold on an idea, and they have a high sense of urgency to make something happen right now. They just need to be educated, but they're already sold on the idea, right? They've heard of whatever coaching is. They know what manifestation is. They've heard and seen that conferences can be lucrative, and putting all those things together, these are the people that are committed and then that are going to be absolutely great prospects for your business, because they're already ready to go. They just need the right vehicle and to see some documentation to know that they can make their dream outcome happen with the littlest resistance or time delay as possible. So just once you, whatever your niche is, if you understand people that are closer to the conversion hole, that's important. And you can do that with software. So what we do, and just real quick, wrapping up here, is we help you with whatever your niche is, create a manifestation experience and a program around that. And we can do that very simply. Most of you already have your online courses. If you don't, we can help you put those together. Virtual group coaching, and we give you all the scripts, all the templates, help you put everything together for a private Facebook group that converts. You have limited one-on-one calls that are checkpoints that people schedule with you digitally. And then the big thing is the revenue generating software to help you create 20 to 30 leads every single day. So you put all that together, you have an incredible opportunity that just won't quit, that can really help people succeed. So this works for the top three, right? Financial coaches, whether that be real estate, financial coaches, relationship coaches, health coaches, even software coaches. What we're seeing a lot now is people are really started to tap in and to dive into Chat GPT. Those are big, and then putting a niche and all those different things. So this can work for almost every niche. If you do a strategy call, we can tell you exactly how this will work for you. And think about it, right? And we're wrapping up. If you wanted to go on an exclusive island trip, right? One of the things is, a while back, I went to Thailand, and I was thinking of going, if we went to Thailand and just went there and kind of winged it, yeah, we could get out there, fly out there and stumble around. But instead I was like, no, you know what? I'm gonna pay a tour guide so I can go to the best places, eat at the best restaurants, get to the best excursions, and absolutely have the best time. And that's exactly what happened. So that's what you want to do. And you're probably going to choose B. And that's what a great mentor does. That's what a great coach does. And every coach has a coach, right? Every exhibitor has a framework, every conference, like, you want to level up every single time. Our coaches, right? I've probably spent a couple $100,000 on coaching. My coaches have probably spent close to, I don't want to call it, probably 300-400 grand, right? And they've created a close to $3 million business now in the last couple of years. So here's the next steps, right? And there's 3 different types of people, and it doesn't matter which one you are. Just watch that. One of them says, hey, I'm ready to go. What's the investment? How's it work? I'm committed, right? You talk about that conversion. On the flip side, you have people that say, hey, thank you for the manifestation training, but I'm just not interested. And that's fine too. We appreciate you watching this. And if you got value out of it, all that I ask is put something in the group chat and say, hey, this was valuable. And in the middle, if you're like, hey, I'm kind of in the middle, I need more information, I'd love to get on with you. I know you usually charge for these things, but one of the things we offer a free strategy call. It's $500 value. All that I ask is, if you get value out of this call, regardless of if we do business with each other, we're not going to charge you for this call. Just do a 20-second testimonial for us saying that you got value out of the call. So with that said, everybody enjoy the rest of your Saturday, your Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever day. Make it a great day. Let's talk, schedule a strategy call. If this is something that you're really committed, you're interested in taking to the next level, choose a time within the next 48 hours, because these things do book fast. And what I'll do here is I'll put that in the chat if I can. So you can click on that, schedule a time, and we'll go from there. Y'all have a blessed day. Look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you.